Welcome back to Lobster 117. Today we're going back to a bit of an older game, but still a game I remember as being pretty fun, the Stanley Parable. Didn't play this game a whole lot when it came out. I bought it, but I never got around to really playing, through the whole thing. Don't remember a whole lot. All I remember is the mechanic of the game, which is, there's a narrator, you can follow him, you cannot follow him, but I know there's like a million different outcomes. So we're just going to see how many of those we can get through today. This was a request, private request. So again, if you guys have any requests, leave a comment, message me, whatever works for you guys. Because again, this channel is based on all of your guys' content, what you want, what games you want to see, what things you want to see. That's what I'm here to do. So feel free to drop a suggestion. I'm excited to play this game though. I remember being a lot of fun. Just never got around to playing the game fully, so I'm really excited to kind of dive into it and see the branching stories it has.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Good for Stanley, though. Pushing buttons.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Doesn't seem like, that amazing of a job. What? I mean, hey, push buttons. Can I push buttons? Nope. Alrighty. Off to.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Seems like poor little Stanley kind of got the short end of the stick. He's alone in the supply closet. Everyone else out here is to socialize. All right, let's go to meeting room. Can I open any of these? Is that a thing I can do? Nope. Nope. Alright. Well, guess we only got one option here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Left. Alright, let's go this way.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Heck yeah, I want to stop by the lounge. Or just the lounge?
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
There's some high quality photos. I mean, you can see the droplets of water. That's crazy. It's a nice place.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Don't judge me, man. That's a high-quality painting. What about this one? And that one's not so high quality.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
All right,
it's possible, but at last he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Want to go? You know what? I'll go with him.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Or, better idea, we go down this elevator. See where this takes us. Oh, got a loading screen. See what happens.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Doesn't sound very confident, that answer. All right.
Oh,
left.
no. Oh, no, it's to the right. My mistake.
I have a bad feeling about this.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
You just go back up the elevator.
Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Got you, fam. Take your time.
Now, let's see. We went
Almost
down,
stuck in a
right,
creepy
left,
basement.
down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
What? It's a garage? What is this? I go further down into the freaking shady... Like, how big is this place? Something bad's gonna happen down here. Why can't... There's a truck out there. There's a door right there. I can just leave. But whatever. You're the narrator. British man. What is this?
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay.
Oh, it's everywhere.
We just get back to,
Don't embrace it.
Who am I kidding? It's all
Pirates,
rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay.
I'm sorry.
From the top.
That guy was fired. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we are restarting. All right. All right, that was kind of an odd ending, but whatever. It's like a ton of...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's a bright light out here, man. Can't even look out the window. I feel like that would give me all the answers I need right there. Alright. That must be something. Definitely... Oh, maybe that's the hallway I don't know. I don't know. Let's keep going. Oh, that's probably some over there, too. That's what I like about this game, is how it branches out so much. There's so much you can do with it. It's just like a fun experience. I remember those doors being closed, though.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Well, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Heck yeah. Can I, like, jump over this? Huh? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Alright, here we go. Wow. This is a very oddly laid out office. Right is always right. Let's take this way. It looks kind of shady down there. What? What is this? What kind of office is this? What is this?
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
No,
I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
No, we got this. We can... Well, alright. Hopefully that fixed it. And we're back. 427. Yeah, everything looks normal. Yeah, I can tell.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Blinding white light.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
So
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Those doors are open. These doors are open. Well, I mean, not that one, but the one behind it. Let's just see. And there's no doors this
Okay,
time.
yep,
Alright.
it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doors here. Makes sense to me. Wait, was some over there? Some on the board? Can I open this? No? Alright. Hey, that's the same painting from the meeting room. What is this? What is... And the leaf! The high-quality leaf! Look at that. That's honestly a nice photo. Nice nature shot. And there's some sketch going on there. Alright, let's find out where we're going.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something.
Wait, how'd
the
that happen?
story. Here it comes.
What? How that doesn't make any sense? I didn't even... I
No,
don't
wait,
know.
never
What
mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Oh boy. Oh boy, this is getting wild. Inception over here. And... What? This doesn't make any sense. What is this? What is it? What? Why am I in a wooden shack?
Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you remember,
Yes,
Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Hey!
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
I did work hard, didn't I?
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some
Debatable.
people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Yeah, fair enough, I guess. Don't want to be in a sketchy wooden shack that is somehow connected to the office. What is this?
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
That's pretty simple to me. Alright, line, let's do this. Take me on the adventure. Hey, what? Wait. Hold the phone. Oh. Well, I mean, the line doesn't lie. Alright, I guess that's how we get in this door. And we're rolling.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa.
Oh, it's getting too crazy.
That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
What is the line doing?
I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
What happened? Alright.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Alright, I guess we're gonna be tested on a fern later. I don't know how that's gonna tie in. Yeah, alright. mental picture taken, and onward we go. This line's getting a little crazy. What is it doing?
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Getting a good office tour, at least. No, it's back here.
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
I mean, is this even an ending? Like, it just keeps going. It keeps on going. All right, Adventure Line round 2. Don't let me down, Line.
You know what, Stanley?
All right.
I say forget the Adventure Line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh,
in an
this
office?
all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
What direction? Ah, alright. I mean, I kind of like the line, not gonna lie. It's pretty cool. We got cool music. But, alright, no hard feelings, Line. Gotta make my own way.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley,
A little too many
I'm
corners.
ready for it.
Oh, alright, that just pops up. Alright, Mr. Narrator. Why are there excessively just long, empty
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Sorry, Line, no hard feelings, but you kind of blew your chance. And, oh, alright, there he goes. Bye, friend. Why are there excessively long hallways? What is this?
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important, we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
That made absolutely no sense. What you talking about logic, friend? Can I go back? Alright. Okay, what about the left door? That's negative. Alright, let's go in here. The confusion ending.
Hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is?
Stanley
It's
dies?
all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing. Wall.
You're your own man, narrator.
Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us?
So confused.
Will something happen?
Guess that's why it's called the confusion ending.
Okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? eventually. Well, in the meantime,
What the? Okay, I am very confused, but I guess I mean it was a confusion ending, so does that mean that's the end of that story arc? But there's still like two. I don't know, man. I don't know. This game is a crazy game. That's only like one possibility of how this game can go down. So, assuming everything's normal, we can go do more stuff.
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, everything's normal so far. Nothing out of the blue.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, I guess everything's back to normal. That was a crazy one. I'm gonna miss the adventure line though.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
What happened to Franz? Pre-review of weekly review. That makes sense. Office party, huh? I like that. Termination Tuesdays. We're broke Wednesdays. Financial panic meeting. Alright, this company's not... We need to quit, Stanley. We need to... Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. What is this? Number of slides on this slide. Okay. Stanley, we got some problems with this company. Broom closets. Oh, my face.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Alright.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'll play along this time, just so there's no confusion. Nope, okay. What's going on in here?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Is that actually the password? Did this accept whatever you put in? Do I have like a repressed memory of this path? What? Huh.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Just as shocked as you, narrator. Alright, going down the sketchy elevator. Let's do it. Oh, is this gonna lead to that giant room with all the computer screens? Because we went back to that like 3 or 4 times in the confusion ending, but he said, "Oh no, this is a spoiler." So I guess we'll find out.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
I mean, it's also peculiar because I'm in like some sketchy basement in my office.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Huh. Mind control, you say? Or I can go this way.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Whoa. You know what, on second thought, let's go check out this mind control thing. where I potentially won't meet my
But
violent
of
death.
course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
That is very true. I very much like to live. Alright, this must be the room. So I remember these... Yeah, I think it's kind of dark. What up there, I think, is that catwalk.
The lights rose on
Bada
an
bing, bada
enormous
boom.
room packed with television screens.
Yep, there it is.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I'm getting a real Portal vibe from this. You know, like even the buttons kind of look like Portal buttons. Just the whole like weird concept of this office, this shady office. It feels very Portal. Like Portal is one of my Portal and Portal 2 are like some of my favorite games of all time. I don't know if I mentioned that, but they're great, especially Portal 2. Portal 2 is so much fun.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Not sketchy at all. It's that screen though, it has like writing all over it. Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on there. Oh wait, can I find my thing? 427, hey, it's me. We'll turn back to Stanley's office. Hey, my weird little closet. Alright. And button time.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I mean, am I not being mind controlled right now? Is this, I don't even know, let's find out. Unravel the mystery, friends.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
How long have I been working here, guy? Like,
But here was
life?
the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
So I'm assuming he wants me to go to the facility power, but I'm wondering what these buttons do. We got 1, 2, I think it says 4. What are these? Oh, looks like there's another one over there. Oh wait, this one? 1, 2, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that make this one 5? Yeah, it does. He says all these are offline. Let's see what happens if we push them all. Do I control the facility? 1, 2. Wish I could sprint. That'd be nice. And 3. Let's go on over here to Quattro and hit that button. Going on an adventure. 4. And all the way. I mean, this sounds like there's a timer. In Portal, like, there'd be stuff like this. There'd be a timer. It kind of reminds me of the boss fight with, or boss battle with Gladys in Portal 1. There's like stuff he had, like, I mean, it's kind of a similar room. Not do anything? No, nothing. Nothing at all. Unless there's a 6. Is there another button? Because that would explain a lot. There's this giant red button. No? Alright, guess not. I want to open this door. Oh well, it was worth a shot. Onward to adventure, friends. Facility power. Let's do it. It's an unnecessarily big room.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
It is horrible, but at the same time, I'm the only one in here, so if I click on, but then do I mind control myself? I mean, I want to be the good guy here and click off, but let's just see what on does.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After
Maybe.
they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Whoa,
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then?
Oh, maybe that's what the buttons do.
Let's say, 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you,
cool, man.
about me, where we're going, what all this means.
I'm about to die in nuclear fire.
What's that?
Okay.
You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're going to die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Passcode?
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? One solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Wow. Alright. Don't click turn on power, or else the narrator goes ballistic on you. That was a little darker than I thought. He turned pretty evil. I thought he was a cool guy. Obviously not. So, let's say, assume it's gonna, yep, it restarted. We need two more in the video. I don't want it to be too long for you guys. I can do more of these.
Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. No, the orders were still missing. For now.
For now? What does that mean? You know what? I'm just gonna go. I don't want to make him kill me again. And we're going. We are going.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Doing the thing. Going in the meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Do I want to go up, though? That is the quest. You know what? Let's go down. I'm not listening to you. You detonated a nuclear bomb last time.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid?
Weird.
And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back. the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want.
Please.
I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Oh, we're still down here?
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
What? Oh, all right. Think we're having a mental breakdown here, Stanley.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What? Don't leave my boy behind? Is that it? Is that the end of it? Stanley ran around crazy? I guess it is. Well, alright guys, I'm going to cut it off right there so the video is not too long. If you liked the video, please drop it a like, and if you're new to the channel, thank you for visiting. Please hit that subscribe button. Every subscribe helps. Again, if you want to see more of this, just say so in the comments below. If you have any other games you want to see, any other ideas, feel free to comment it. Feel free to send me a private message, whatever works for you. All my content on here is based on what you guys want. So let's keep the content flowing. Let's just have a good time. We'll be doing some game nights soon for you guys. Also, shout out to one of my friends, Noah Rivera. He's commented on a couple videos before, but just in case, I'm going to put the link to his channel in my newest video. He makes awesome stuff on the PlayStation, so you should definitely go check him out if you like this kind of content. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.